Having trouble with your garage door? Problem solved. Call Direct Service Overhead Garage Door Company. We're your go-to team for garage door repair, new garage doors, openers, and more. We offer same-day service. We're always ready when you need us. Best of all, you can book your appointment online or talk to a live operator 24/7. No machines, no waiting. So whether it's a broken spring or a brand new garage door, trust the local experts at Direct Service Garage Doors. Call us today or visit directserviceoverhead.com.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Monday Night Lights live here on Tusk Talk with Ty on the old YouTubes. I hope you guys are all doing swell. Alongside me, my PIC partner in crime, Tim Neal. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. How are you doing? You sound better than you've sounded in weeks.
Yeah. If it's not a flu, 10 days later, it's a stomach. And then what's funny is like 5 days after that, I lost my voice, or 4 days after that, I lost my voice. And so I've kind of got my ass kicked at the end of 2025 and the beginning of 2026. But I'm coming out of it pretty clean so far. Hey, and some good news. I went to the doctor. I was supposed to get some labs drawn, and I did not. Didn't have time because the waiting was just too crazy. I'm down like 9 pounds. So, hey, I'm taking my W's where I can get them. Yeah, thanks, man. As I was scarfing down a hamburger before we went live. Yeah, so we got a lot to talk about tonight, man. First off, shout out to Patreon supporters. Okay, you guys are awesome. We're crushing it on the audio logs. And man alive, keeping up with the transfer portal and breaking down all these players and giving them their own kind of spots there where we're breaking down their PFF grades, their stats, some deeper analytics, and then just whatever note that I have below all their names. Takes about 10 to 15 minutes per player. And then sometimes I attach a video with it as well if I haven't already watched videos on these players. But it's like a full-time job trying to keep up with all these kids. They did get a commit today, and we're going to talk to him here in just a little bit. Again, if you guys are just coming in, YouTube is up. They're being bastards again. Make sure you please, I don't know, just like, share, and subscribe. I know I say that, and people after the fact, that probably goes in one ear and out the other. I get it. But if you're not here live also, please consider liking and sharing the content. It really does. It goes a long ways. So, yeah. Okay. And I hope everyone's doing good. Hope your 2026 is off to a better start than mine has. But it's going, like I said, I'm down 9 pounds and I'm here for the Monday Night Lights live along with Tim Neal. So life is doing just fine. Casey Dick, this is A-State 1981. He's changed his name. I recognize that avatar that profile picture, sir. Casey Dick is a clown. Yeah.
Let's kick it off right off the bat.
Right out the gate. Ryan Silverfield and Casey Dick updates. Tim, what are you up to date on this?
Yeah, look, man, I've listened to a lot of opinions on this whole thing, and I think that my opinion has changed from I pulled a Casey Dick on Twitter. I got wind of this. Someone sent me a screen capture of it because he had already pulled it down. And I immediately went to Twitter and I was like, Casey Dick doesn't want to be the Fayetteville High School coach anymore. That was my response.
Okay.
And because obviously posting that is maybe the stupidest thing he could have done. Like, Ryan Silverfield and Razorback football will not be welcome in our facilities that are across the street from their facilities. That may be the dumbest thing that I've ever seen. And so I'm like, he obviously doesn't value his job very much, because I'm sure the university will lean on Fayetteville High School and be like, get rid of this clown. But he came out, first of all, he took it down fairly quickly, and he came out and he said, hey, I had an emotional response to what's happening. And basically, after listening to several people's opinions, I kind of think, like, if I was the head coach of a high school football team and one that is up for state championships regularly, and all of a sudden my quarterback of the future reclassified without talking to me, nobody saying, hey coach, I'm thinking about doing this or anything, and the first time I hear about it is on the internet, I might be upset too. Hopefully I would have, enough resolve to go, you know what, I need to talk to somebody before I go post on Twitter and act a fool. But I think that I would be upset. I can't blame him for being upset about it. He definitely needed to take a deep breath before he posted that tweet, though.
Yeah, and I know, like, we are a little bit behind on this. I don't do reactionary, like, on the moment lives like I once kind of did. It's just too, maybe I should get back into doing it, but I really wanted to make this, because I'm very selective. I'm like, all right, this needs to be a topic for Monday Night Lights.
Sure.
Here's the thing. I'm not a fan of reclassification. I'm not a fan of it. First off, and I get it, it's a combination of the parents being involved, because they have to be legally with this, but the kid and the coaches. That's all fine and dandy. All right. It's not like anyone's forcing him to do anything he doesn't want to do. He is consenting to this, but he doesn't realize it, but it's robbing him of his senior season. What could be a really good, I'm pretty sure Fayetteville, we'd have to talk to some folks, maybe over at ASN, Arkansas Sports Network. They could, Brad Caldwell, maybe he could get us up to par on what he thinks Fayetteville is going to do next year. But I mean, this is a big time player. People are comparing him to an even better Brandon Allen coming out of high school. Brandon Allen was, if you recall, was actually first offered by Bobby Petrino when he was the head coach the first time. And of course, Austin Allen would follow him, but Brandon Allen would commit, and then Petrino gets fired and he sticks it out, and then unfortunately he has Brett Bielema as a head coach, and they never had a solidified, like, the offense just wasn't anything good until his final year at Arkansas. But I mean, there are people comparing him to one of the better players to have come out of Fayetteville. I just don't like reclassification, because number one, he's not coming in here and competing. He's not going to compete. He's not going to be a backup quarterback at Arkansas. Again, if he even goes to Arkansas, I mean, obviously that's probably going to be the case. I'm just saying, he hasn't formally come out and said anything. I just feel like it also interrupts the developmental stage of a quarterback, any player, but especially a quarterback. It interrupts that developmental phase. Believe it or not, playing high school football, even in the state of Arkansas, does do something for your development. That's more actual time against an opponent that you're leading an offense up and down the field. There's so much that goes into it. And especially in the 7A, I don't know. I've never been a fan of it. I know it happens. I know, what's his name? Texas quarterback did it several years back.
Yeah, I just have to think, taking all the reps for a 7A high school team and playing and getting experience and getting, making the throws and working on your technique for a year might be more valuable than taking fourth string snaps and looking at a notebook for a year. Because you go for a year, when you look at guys come in off of having the summer off, a lot of coaches value having taken hits and things, because you deal with fumbles and rust and not being ready. And now he's going to take basically a whole year off of football to sit on the bench for the Razorbacks. And I mean, I just don't see that being necessarily meaningful time, other than he'll know the offense the next year and he can compete for a job, but he's going to be competing with upperclassmen. AJ Hill's no slouch. I get what you're saying about He's considered a top-notch quarterback, but AJ Hill's also considered a top-notch quarterback. I know he's not afraid of competing for that, but he would be competing with a guy who's going to be in his third year of it.
Yeah.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but also just the way it was handled.
Yeah, and Big Phil's got it here. He says there should have been communication between Casey and the players' family and with Coach Silverfield. Yeah, and again, I feel like I know someone's going to bring up, well, Ty, you played football at Fayetteville. This is why you're biased towards Fayetteville. No, I wouldn't care if you played for a heated rival in the Springdale Bulldogs. I wouldn't care. Like I feel like I get why Casey Dick was pissed. I get it, especially when there's no communication. I get it. This reaction, and I've heard others talk about it. I've actually reached out to several media members about this before they had gone public and talked about it. They all kind of said the same thing. Like, yeah, we're kind of texting Casey right now. Like, bro, you need to cool your jets. Someone said this is a nothing burger, and I find that really funny. Hog Fan 40 ounce says it's a nothing burger. Do you think that's the case? So let me lay something out for you. Do you think Casey Dick talks to other coaches in the state of Arkansas? Do you think he's pretty well plugged into other coaches in the state of Arkansas? What's the thing that Silverfield wants to do? He wants to recruit the state of Arkansas. I hope this isn't the Brett Bielema, when Brett Bielema went down to Texas. I don't think it is, because they did, he did put out an apology, or not really an apology. It's had it up and now but he put up a, saying that, I overreacted emotionally. Here it is. I've got it right here. Let me share it on the screen really fast. But yeah, I don't agree that this is a nothing burger. In fact, I couldn't disagree more. I actually think that this could be pretty harmful. And again, he did come out publicly and say that he was not letting Arkansas staff on campus or on the, within that Fayetteville athletic department, which we know is not going to be the case. We know that's not going to be the case. We know that they're already kind of kissing and making up. I think they're supposed to meet up or something. They're supposed to have a sit down. Here was Casey Dick's response regarding a post shared earlier today. I want to be clear that my responsibility as head coach, first and foremost, is to my student athletes. My priority has and always will be these young men in the best position to succeed, both on the field and in life. And the commitment will never change. Earlier today, I reacted emotionally to information about decisions involving some of my players. Again, that's interesting that he went plural there, involving some of my players that I was not previously aware of. I take responsibility for addressing those feelings publicly and for any confusion that may have caused. And I look forward to our follow meeting. Yeah, he left that out with Coach Silverfield. So, yeah, they are supposed to have a meeting. I love the state and this school. My response was never rooted in resentment, but in a deep sense of responsibility to advocate for the young men I am entrusted to lead. I will continue to support the Fayetteville program and this community. We look forward to seeing more Purple Dogs become Hogs in the future. Okay, a little lengthy, but there it is. I hope this isn't that Brett Bielema moment. Now, to be fair, Arkansas and Texas are not one and the same. Like, no, I get that. You're okay. Darn, you're gonna miss out on. Maybe you miss out on some 3-star NWA kids. I get it. But Fayetteville has produced some pretty damn good talent. In fact, a couple of them are still in the NFL. Dre Greenlaw and Brandon Allen. Michael Brizell, who I actually played with at Fayetteville High, he played in the NFL, went to Colorado State, and the list goes on and on and on of guys that are Hogs or that went through Fayetteville. Brooks Ellis, man, there's a lot. Like I already mentioned, the Allen brothers. I just wouldn't want there to be bad blood. It looks like they're going to make it up, and they're fine. Again, I know we're a little bit behind on some of this, but I just wanted to give our takes on it. I was curious what you thought about it too. It's why I didn't actually really dive deep when we were chatting a little bit about this. I wanted to hear your reaction here. You guys tell me in the chat. Do you think that? I mean, is it nothing? Is it true? Is Hog Fan 40 ounce correct? This is a nothing burger. Or do you think that it could potentially cause some issues with in-state recruiting. I'm right in between there. I think it will be a nothing burger, but it does make you wonder. These coaches, I'm going to tell you, some of them are, I don't want to say tight, but they are friendly and they do text and they do talk. So there's that. Casey was a quarterback. Yes, he was. Played at Arkansas, played in Texas. If I remember right, when he was a high school recruit, he went to the pretty sure he went to the Elite 11 and finished near the top. I could be wrong about that, but I seem to remember reading that somewhere. He was a pretty decent, he's a 3-star, but he was a pretty decent high school quarterback. I have read that the plan was the same if Pittman or Petrino are going to be coaches as well. Okay, we must be getting in the middle of a conversation here. If that's the case, how would he not have known? Oh, okay. So he's saying that this whole deal with Hendricks was pre-planned. Is that what he's insinuating? Because I've not heard that.
I did hear in, I don't remember who said it. Like I said, I've listened to several people's commentary on it. I did hear someone say that even Silverfield didn't know this was coming. Like this was a parent and kid decision.
Really?
And they let Arkansas know, I guess, but it wasn't Silverfield going in and saying, "Hey, we'd love for you to reclassify."
So Casey could have had a reaction and it be aimed towards the wrong people?
That was the way that one commentator that I heard. I don't know if it's true or not. It's just one person that I heard talk about it said Silverfield didn't even know this was happening. Might have been a staff thing with the parent, but it wasn't head coach with the parent. It wasn't Silverfield. But I don't know if that's true. That's just one commentator's take, and I don't know where they got that from.
Yeah.
So, I hate to say that, and then someone's like, "Tim said this, man." I heard it. I don't know if it's true.
Clip it. He said it. You heard it. Clip it. Tim said it. Fishman says
he doesn't want all his records broken by some guy who should have been playing for him. Clip that.
Casey needs to mind his own damn business. I don't agree with that, Fish. That is his quarterback. I mean, I get it. I understand his frustration with it. And again, I'm on the record. I'll say it, man. I'm not a fan of reclassifying these kids. I'm just not. Yeah. I didn't. Yeah. Casey reacted poorly. 100% agree. But now it's like they're going into their spring camp and it's like, well, shit. And then for the quarterback itself, I believe it's interrupting his crucial developmental phase of a high school quarterback. That's just me. I mean, who knows? It may not matter. We may look back on this 2-3 years from now and be like, damn, he was actually, who cares about his senior season? Let's let everybody just do this.
Let's be honest. What are the chances he makes it 4 years at Arkansas anyway?
That's the point I was going to make. You took from me. That's it. What are the odds you're doing this? He's a Razorback and then he just transfers. The second year he's here. What are the odds? So again, I just So John Haas says his dad works for the university. Yeah, actually, I pointed that out like a while ago when Petrino took over and he promoted his dad. So his dad was actually a high school Texas quarterback. Sam Pittman brought him over. I think he was an analyst for the secondary. Might have been the safeties. I can't remember. And then once he was fired, Bobby Petrino promoted him. We know damn well why Bobby Petrino promoted Hendricks. I mean, it was also he's there. I get it. It might be some of that. But Petrino was trying to – we knew he wanted to be the head coach. I mean, he was very public about that. Yeah, you've got the state's number one player next year, right down the road. Of course you're going to promote Coach Hendricks to becoming I think they – put him over the secondary. I don't remember if they gave him a title like corner coach. I think it was just secondary coach. But yeah, I mean, it's very clear what the initiative here was for Petrino, and it's smart, and it was the right move. So yeah, I talked about this. I don't remember if it was a Discord live or maybe it was on here, but I talked about Hendricks and his son playing at Fayetteville and being, a highly rated quarterback. He's right now, I think he's still on the 2027 list. I think he's the number 10 or 11 quarterback in the country. So just saying.
I mean, that's a loss for Casey Dick to absorb. So you have to.
It is.
I have to think he'd be upset about it a little bit.
So I'd say, John says, the odds of John. You don't, I mean,
His dad.
You never know, dude. Kids.
Next year.
Yeah, he could get fired. I mean,
play underneath you.
Exactly. He could follow I don't know, he could follow Petrino eventually down the road if he's still at North Carolina, assuming he hasn't been fired. Casey doesn't own the kid, says Fish. Casey doesn't own this kid. Yeah, we're not saying he does, Fish. Calm down. Calm down, brother. I have read that Pittman and Petrino were taking Hendricks early as well. So I don't know. I guess so. I mean, maybe that is the case. What's up, Judster? How you doing, man? How's it going? So yeah, we know that by now it's pretty well, it's been talked about. I wanted to just put that in as like, yeah, man, I'm just not a fan of the reclassification at all. I just don't think it benefits anybody. I really don't. What it does really is it does help you secure that player at least for a couple of years. So I don't know. I love the country mad guy voice. Ty, it cracks me up. Yeah, I love using it. You give me an excuse to use it, I'm going to use it. Let's see. All right, Tim, did you see this? Hang on, I know I've got it bookmarked. You guys, I've been warning y'all about this. This is not, so again, we don't get political here. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Donald Trump on the state of college athletics. Now, I'm not taking political sides here. That's not what this is about. But he has something to say. And I'm going to make sure I pull up the right one. I think this is it. Yeah. He has something to say about the NIL and the NCAA. Now, he said this January 11th. Hopefully, you guys can hear this loud and clear.
I haven't seen this, actually.
You guys were a team of amateurs. What do you think about the NIL, the deals that are being made with players, and they're hopping around schools? What do you think about it? I'll get your thoughts.
My thoughts are I don't like it. I don't like the portal, but that's the state of college sports today.
I don't know who that guy is. Who is that? Do you know who that is?
I don't. I can probably find out. Leave it there for 1 second.
And we have no control over
Oh,
that.
okay.
I don't like it, and a lot of people that I spoke to don't like it either.
Are you looking it up?
Yeah, I'll find out who it is.
Okay, I'll keep playing it.
Go ahead.
We have no say.
Well, I think we maybe do have a say. I think that it's a disaster for college sports. I think it's a disaster for the Olympics because, we're losing a lot of teams. The colleges are cutting a lot of they would call them sort of the lesser sports, and they're losing them like at numbers nobody can believe. And they were really training grounds, beautiful training grounds, hard-working, wonderful young people. They were training grounds for the Olympics. And a lot of these sports that were training so well would win gold medals because of it. Those sports don't exist because they're putting all their money into football. And by the way, they're putting too much money into football because colleges don't make, even the most successful universities don't make that much money. And you can't pay a quarterback $14 million to come out of high school.
Watch them.
They don't even know he's going to be a very good player. I mean, they've tried a couple of times, $14 and $12 million. And a couple of deals like that, and the most successful colleges are losing money. And I think the NIL is a disaster for sports. It's horrible for the Olympics. And I think it's actually horrible for the players. And you're losing all of these great sports. They're not college football. Well, even basketball is being affected. Basketball second, but even basketball is being affected. They're putting all of their money in. And I know something about it. They will not be able to stop. You're going to have a college president. I'm telling you, sir, we give a guard $7 million. We're going to win the national championship. And they give them $7 and they won't win it. And even if they do win it, colleges cannot afford to be paying the kind of salaries that you're hearing about. And frankly, if you didn't have a very strong salary cap in sports, and even then in professional sports, they'd all be out of business, everyone. You're going to have these colleges wipe themselves out, and something ought to be done. And
he is not wrong about that. I mean, you're going to, like, we're already seeing, like, smaller schools are having to cut so much of their athletic program, all these other programs on campus. Mm-hmm. I mean, I haven't seen the numbers, but you just know it's coming.
Willing to put the federal government behind it, but if it's not done fast, you're going to wipe out colleges. They're going to get wiped out, including ones that do well in football. They can't pay 12 million, 14 million, 10 million, 6 million for players. They won't be able to stop. There'll always be that one player. If they only have that player, they're going to win the national championship. And they'll have 100 colleges thinking the same thing. Colleges cannot afford to play this game. And it's a very bad thing that's happening.
Thoughts?
So that was Mike Eruzione. I don't even know how to say his last name. Eruzione. He's a member of the Miracle on Ice hockey team, who was an amateur hockey player playing in the Olympics. That's who that was. My thoughts. I think that I think Donald Trump's kind of right. And the thing is, I really agree with what Cal said. I wish you had Cal's comments on here.
About how
where
to,
he
how
said,
to
listen, there's nothing worse than being poor and then coming into money and then being poor again. And when you got these guys coming in and only 1% to 2% of these players are going to go pro, and you've given them money, but really no education or no way to keep it. And then basketball's over and they're not part of the 1%. And suddenly, or football or whatever, but they're not part of the 1%. And suddenly they're going to have to go get a job, and they've transferred for 4 years. So they haven't finished their degree. So they have no degree, and they go to get their first job and they're like, oh, it's $40,000 a year. And the guy's like, what? And you expect me to show up and work? You expect me to do something? Because they've had a different life that college sports gave them that didn't really prepare them for real life. Like, I know when I graduated from college, my first job paid me $28,000 a year, and people today would look at that and be like, I don't know, what was the point of going to college if you made $28,000 your first year out with a degree? But if they had given me $1 million and I didn't know how to invest it, and I didn't have somebody trying to teach me how to make that work for my life, and then I left college and 28,000 was the best I could do, I mean, I would feel like an abject failure, right?
Yeah. So
they've got to find some way to continue to prepare kids for the future. And college sports is never good at the NBA's never been good at that. The NFL's never been good at that. These guys go, they make millions, even if they go through college for 4 years, they make millions and they go broke afterwards.
Yeah.
But
the warning
sets it up negatively for them.
The warning I've been saying for a while, my fear is that the government will get involved if we don't figure this out before too long. And that's not, listen, they're going to it's insane. Nick Saban, I guess, has reached out to I think he said he reached out to maybe it was the Trump administration. I can't remember if he was talking about it past tense. Maybe he'd reached out to the Biden administration about it. But it's clear that former coaches, current coaches, nobody likes this system really. Obviously the players and the families do for that short term, $500,000, 250, $500,000. Some of them are getting $1 million other than the checks that they're getting. But that's not forever money anymore, especially with the way we print money in this country, which, by the way,
I would be curious if they've studied it at all. I know they have on professional athletes, the number of them that go broke post pro career. I wonder if they've done any kind of study on these college kids that are getting the money. They need to be addressing it in some way to help them out.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I don't know what the right thing to do is there, but I hate for what Cal said to be true, and that to be like, your credits don't transfer, so you don't end up graduating. The school's done with you, and
that's it.
You're just screwed, and nobody really cared about you. It still was all about money. It doesn't matter if they gave you $100,000 or $2 million. It still was all about money for the school. It never was about the athlete, because if it was, you'd be making sure that the athlete had the opportunity for success post college without going pro.
Yeah.
And that's never been the case.
Super chats will always take priority. By the way, guys, I think we're at like 19 likes. What are we doing? Hit the like button. Help the channel out and share the content. Sharing is caring. I think we average about like the actual links shared. It's like 9 or 10. We'll have a ton of people in here, and get the shares out. Make sure you're liking the show, please. The NCAA is a private organization. Why can't they just tell players to get effed if getting school paid for isn't good enough? I can't go in a private store and tell them how to do things. It's madness. Yes, but the problem is the NCAA doesn't feel like they have a leg to stand on in court. And the proof is in the pudding. They have it. I think they've actually lost quite a bit in the courts. Now they just recently turned down like 2 players trying to get an extra year. Pavia, and then there was one other player that they got turned down.
But those rules is Trinidad Chambliss.
That's right, Trinidad. That's right.
But the
He's
rules
fighting.
are so applied. They're applied in such a weird way. Like, we're going to let guys go get drafted in the NBA and then let them come back and play for college in the middle of the year. But we're not.
Is that true though?
Yes.
I
Yes.
thought I heard that they were only going to try, but teams haven't actually accepted any.
Baylor's got one that's starting mid-year.
Really?
Yeah.
Was he already drafted? Is that
He
what
was
that?
drafted. He didn't play an NBA game. He played in the G League
Okay.
instead of for the official NBA. And so the NCAA is allowing it because he never played a day of college basketball. So his eligibility hasn't run out because he never started it.
It's such a man.
It's garbage.
It is. It's terrible. And I hate to say it, but like, you know, and it's corny and I don't care. It sounds like something a boomer would say, but it's true. The sport you grew up loving and watching, it's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone. This is something new. This is NFL, minor league NFL. This is the farm league for the NFL, except it makes a shit ton of money. And players want a piece of the pie. I don't blame them. I have been for players getting money since day one. I said, assuming the NIL, there's rules in place, but we also said at the same time they opened up Pandora's box with zero anything in place to monitor and to cap and all this stuff. You know, there's no contracts. There's no, the portal is a freemium, man. Just hop in the portal, get your bag, and go into the portal. That is not, someone said earlier, this is not sustainable. That's 1,000% correct. It's not sustainable, and relying on millionaires and billionaires and fans to continue to finance this or to pay for, I guess finance isn't the right word, but that is not sustainable. And it is interesting because you have a team like Indiana, who's an anomaly as far as I could tell. They didn't really kill it in the portal last year. I think they finished behind Arkansas in the transfer portal, and now they could win it all. When they play Miami.
So I heard an interesting take on that. If you want to talk about that for a second,
Okay.
because it kind of relates to what it looks like Silverfield is doing right now. So the take that I heard was that Cignetti values the idea of an older player who might have been a 4-star guy in high school, but he didn't really pan out in college. But when you put up a 21, 22, 23-year-old guy against an 18-year-old guy, and you got a senior playing against a freshman, the senior is going to win out a lot of the time. And that's how Cignetti approaches it. So Indiana's team is full of older guys.
Yeah.
And that's what he's banking on. And it looks like, to some degree, Silverfield, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't done enough deep dive into this, but it looks like we have picked up some guys who were 4 stars or whatever in high school, but they haven't really panned out in college so much. But maybe taking a little bit older guy who didn't pan out his freshman year and giving him a chance here. That's kind of what I'm seeing, but I haven't done the deep dive here. Is that what you're kind of seeing there?
A little bit. I think it's a mix. They did take, like today, and again, we're going to talk about him. We're going to talk about Jelani Watkins, LSU wide receiver, who's 5'10" and about 105 pounds. He's going to run track here. He was a freshman. He was a 4-star, but he was a 2024 kid. and he played in 2025. And again, I don't want to go too deep into that because we're going to bring him up here in a minute. But there is a mix of that, like Ben Bogle, this West Virginia linebacker they picked up. Now it's the opposite. He wasn't a 4-star. He went to Southern Illinois, and then transferred last year to West Virginia, where he played 255 snaps. He has almost 1,200 career snaps. That's a lot. That's a lot of snaps.
Mm-hmm.
Really good numbers on him, by the way. I can't wait. We're going to talk about the portal too. Don't go anywhere. We got a lot more to talk about. There are some guys like Chris Marshall. Whoo, boy, we got a lot to talk about with him. Chris Marshall, he'll be technically a 4th-year player. Now, he doesn't have a ton of snaps under his belt, but he is a 4th year. He is an older guy. I think he's like 20, 21, 22, somewhere in there. Let's see. I think Jeremy Evans is another one he was a part of the he was a 3-star in the 2022 class. Okay. So that's now been a minute. He's played technically on paper 2 years at Baylor. But he only played 47 snaps. Not got a ton of snaps under his belt. There were a couple that were definitely like, let's see, Bryant Williams out of Louisiana Lafayette. He had 719 snaps last year. This is the left tackle out of ULL. Okay, this is the guy that everyone's talking about. Most likely, 800,000, anywhere between 800,000 to over $1 million for this kid. Okay, he has 1,267 snaps. And he is the kid you're talking about. He was a 3-star out of high school, worked his way up to a 4-star transfer. That is exactly the kind of guys that Signetti's looking at, and that's exactly what Silverfield just signed here in Bryant Williams. So there is a mix of that. However, it was the same thing last year. Pittman kind of did something similar as well. Off the top of my head, he had a pretty good mix. Obviously, you look at someone like Mike Washington, who had 3 years. Rohan Jones was a super senior a 4th-year senior. The list kind of goes on, even on defense as well. You had some 2-3-year starters with a lot of snaps under their belt. So yeah, it is a mix. It is a mix. And I'm all for it. You know what? If that's the recipe that works, Tim, I'm all for it, man.
Yeah.
So this cigar, it was rolled way too tight and it keeps dying on me. Yeah, so there are also a number of 1-year guys that don't have a lot of snaps. So it's an interesting mix. But I've been saying for a while, what happens when the government gets involved. I mean, they could make the situation maybe good at first, and then it starts to, because there's these permanent things. Say what?
You disappeared up from me for a minute. Sorry.
Oh, you've been flickering on my end a little bit. I don't know if that's StreamYard messing up or what's going on. But yeah, once government puts stuff in place, it's really hard to take it down. It's really hard to remove it. And the last thing you want is, but you got to get your act together. And that's just not the case.
If I wanted anything government-wise involvement here, it might just be like a committee who said, we're not going to take over the NCAA, but we're going to force you to create some hard and fast rules. And then we're going to step out of it. Or whatever, go to the college, create a new NCAA for all I care. I really don't care. I don't want the government running it, but I wouldn't mind if somebody with some authority came in and said, you're going to make hard and fast rules, and we're going to see to it that you do and that you stick to them.
Yeah. State and federal judges already got involved by even taking on these NIL cases. Am I wrong? I think so. When you get into all the legalities of this stuff, I couldn't tell you. I don't know. It's all, there's so much going on. There's stuff still being processed. I will say I like the NCAA stepping in and saying no to Trinidad and these other quarterbacks and players trying to get a magical extra season in college football. Cal's right. We don't need people who are 27 with baby mama in the stands, with a kid that's probably already in like 5th grade. He's right. That's not what this is supposed to be. 4 years and you're done. 4 years and you're done. That's what this is supposed to be. And, you go back to one of Pittman's best teams. It was led by super seniors. That 21 team, You had Morgan and those guys, Henry. You had upperclassmen. And granted, that was then, and rules have changed a little bit since, and we've allowed stuff. Sports propaganda TV says 5-year max. 5 year if you've got medical. 5 year. And if you transfer once, that's it, man. Like then the next time you're gonna have to
sit.
You're gonna have to sit, just like that's what the rule used to be, actually. But it was the other way. You even if it was your first transfer, you still had to sit. You had to sit out that next year. I kind of looking back on that was probably the way to do it. But
I'll be honest, I don't mind the transfer if the coach who recruited you leaves.
It leaves.
That I don't mind.
Which is what Cal
came to play for someone and they leave. You should be able to leave too.
Yeah.
But other than that, this transfer every year crap for the money, I'm not for that.
I know the ratings are still doing pretty good, which is hard to believe, honestly, because the more I talk to people, and it could also be a combination of it's just us here in Arkansas because Arkansas football's been cheeks. It could be that, but mostly when I talk to people out and about, they're like, I don't really, it is what it is. Like I'm not really that interested. Bowl games, if it's not a playoff game, I don't even think I watch it. Like I don't think I've watched a single bowl game this year, but I've watched the playoffs.
Well, I got to be honest. I think the bowl system is stupid now. Like you have the Cotton Bowl to play into the whatever Fiesta Bowl to play into the Orange Bowl. Like I don't need 3 bowl trophies to get to the national championship. Leave the bowls for the schools that are playing one game and they're done. And then you get a national championship, but you don't get a trophy for winning a quarterfinal playoff game. That's stupid. Like that's your everybody gets a trophy award. Well, you won the quarterfinal, so we'll give you a trophy. No, you don't. You get a national championship trophy, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, here's this about, and I didn't plan on being on this topic this long, but Fishman brings up a good point. And also the Arkansas State Legislature got involved. Yeah, they did, saying no taxes on NIL money. That's right. That's a smack to the face of the real world folks like us. Boom.
Hey, why doesn't Arkansas get on the Florida, Tennessee, Texas train and get rid of all of our income tax for the state?
Have you seen those tweets?
It's about time, Arkansas.
Oh man, the tweets are cracking me up. It's like it's got their mascot holding up no state income tax.
Yeah, it's time.
Need to do it
Florida
for
does
everybody.
It, Texas does it. Let's do it.
Yeah,
no state income tax.
I don't like paying taxes on things I've already paid taxes on. Kind of getting tired of that, honestly. Yeah, that's a good comment, Fish. Fish with a super chat, and then you know what? That should have been your super chat, Fish. That was an outstanding comment. This is going to get a star. You got a star for that, Fish. That means I can see it now, and it won't go away. You guys can't see it, but I can. I mean, you can if you scroll up. Give them a banner to hang up. They won a semifinals game.
No banners, no trophies, no medals. No, nothing. Like pat on the back. Good job. Go win the next game.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't believe in all that other stuff.
Ty, read my other comment. Oh, okay. Yeah. So Judd here, as Tusk Talk with Ty's future attorney. That's right. He's gonna be on retainer for me. I think the courts had in mind players getting legitimate sponsorship deals. Yeah. I don't think they could have foreseen the way the NIL actually transpired. That's a true comment. Yeah, I don't think I didn't see it this way. I didn't think it would get this crazy.
Well, and that's why I think you've got to have a committee that sits down and says, we've got to find the rules for everything. Because for instance, I'm Olivia's little brother coming to Arkansas and then trying to give me my NIL money and then I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Nobody thought of that. Nobody made a rule for that right up front. Like, hey, if you come and you take the money, you stay. And if you leave, you give it back.
Yeah.
Nobody thought, how did you not think of that? How did nobody think, hey, someone
That's
might
crazy. I mean,
you needed hard, fast rules before you allowed it.
Yeah. And if you think about it, Arkansas looks really stupid for that, right? I mean, you just gave this kid, what was it? What are they suing him for? 200,000?
Something like that, yeah.
I want an update on this so bad. I want an update on that so bad. I want to know what's going on. Yeah, he should have to pay that back. But if you don't have it in print, I really don't know what the courts can do. And you just look stupid.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm over it, Tim. I'm so over it. Hey, again, you guys make sure you like, share, hit the subscribe button, please. We've talked about everything. We had Trump on here a second ago talking about how the disastrous NIL is, and we talked about the Casey Dick and Silverfield. A little drama, but I think it is going to eventually. I don't think it's a nothing burger, but I do think it hopefully becomes one over time, and it doesn't affect recruiting in the state of Arkansas. Tom Mars sucks. I'm a leaving beat that case. Oh, I'm a leaving. I'm sorry. I'm a leaving. Okay. Yeah. Tom Mars is the he's the well-to-do lawyer on Twitter. He's an in-state lawyer, and I think is he a donor? I think he's like an Arkansas donor. I'm not really sure.
I don't know.
He had given some clarity a little while back on all that. Yeah, and he was hired. Yeah, that's right. He was hired to deal with the Iamaliava situation. I don't
say I'm gonna leave you.
I'm gonna leave you. I don't know that Tom Mars can do anything. I mean, again, if it's not in, it's whoever wrote out this. It's the situation Arkansas finds themselves in. Maybe it's not even Arkansas looking stupid. It's just the whole system itself, which I guess we could all agree with. Just got here. What is Bloodline saying? Just got here, and looks like Ty is closing down the shop.
What?
No.
Closing down shop already?
No. Well, I'll be a part of the rewatch gang. No,
we got 45 minutes, Bloodline.
Yeah, bro, we got a little ways to go. Bloodline, don't go anywhere. Look at the muscles on that profile picture, though. Holy crap, dude!
Ty needs a personal trainer. He's down 9 pounds to start the year.
I'm down 9 pounds to start the year, baby. Yeah, goodness, you're gonna break my screen with them muscles, bro. Goodness. Yeah, it is a big mess. I agree. All right. Wisconsin is suing another school for the same thing as our Madden deal. I didn't know that.
Oh.
Really? Wow. Well, hopefully they win. This is just getting stupid. On to, oh my goodness. I know you got thoughts on this. Oh man, chat. I'm going to tell you, I caught some people not real happy with the way Saturday night, I did not want to do that post-game live at all. I didn't want to do it. I damn near didn't do it. In fact, I'm probably not doing a South Carolina post-game. I say that, again, hit the notification bell because you never know, I might go live. I was just so over that game. Halfway through at halftime, I was like, I don't know that this gets better. I don't know how it gets better. I want your reaction to this, Tim, because I know you've got thoughts on Arkansas and Auburn.
I mean, how do you out-rebound Tennessee? And how do you come out with so much heart and will to win games like Louisville, and then you don't show up to Auburn? Like, no heart, no rebounding, no defense, no will to win. I mean, take a cuff away from there, and I didn't see anything from anybody that looked like we want to be here, we belong here, and we want to win, including Malik Thomas, who made multiple, just almost said the R word there, multiple terrible passes. Like he did, it was lazy. It was not good. I have no problem calling out Arkansas sports when they do their, we don't feel like playing today. And that happened. And Cal called a lot of timeouts trying to get through to them. And it just seemed like even he couldn't reach them, to the point that when he addressed the media, he's like, burn the tape. That's not my team. Like, they didn't even listen to me. That's not my team. But what they did do is go out there and show the world that, if we're not into it, if we don't care, this is the product we're willing to put on the floor. And it was an embarrassment, and they should be embarrassed for that performance. That being said, yet again, SEC officials proved to be the worst officials in college basketball, hands down. Home teams get calls, and that's just the way that the SEC rolls. The officials were as bad as I think I have ever seen.
Arkansas hit with 18 fouls in that game. What's embarrassing about it, first off, Arkansas is not going to win the game when they're 9 second chance points and just 13 fast break points. That's not a good combination for them. 9 assists in this game to 11 turnovers, so you're -2. That's not typically a category. That category is usually flipped. It's usually the other way around, and then some in terms of assists. I will give Auburn credit. Like they played outstanding. This was
couldn't miss, but we also didn't play any defense. We left guys open the entire night.
Wide open. But I will give them, shots were falling. And they are decent scoring offense. I think they're top 30 in the country, which is saying a lot when you consider how many damn teams, play college basketball that are accounted for in those stats, and they're top 30. Arkansas is better. They're a better scoring offense. I think they're a better team. This is a different Pearl coaching Auburn. And to be honest with you, I said it in the post game. I stand by it. I think that's a mid Auburn team. And mid isn't bad, by the way. I don't know why people reacted the way they did. That's not bad. That doesn't mean they're shit. They're a good team, but they're just a mid team. They're mid.
They're going to be an average SEC team.
They are. They're going to be smack dab middle in the SEC. They already started off 0-2 in conference play. A decent non-con schedule, but they didn't win a lot of those games. They have the talent to be really good. They just got the wrong Pearl coaching them. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Stephen Pearl turns this thing around, and maybe this is their game right now. They've got confidence. Maybe they can go out and kick some ass, and we're wrong, and they're actually a really good SEC team. But up until this point, they were mid, and you're not going to convince me otherwise.
I don't think that changes. I don't think this game changes for them. You can't go out and expect to shoot 60, 65% every game.
Yeah.
So we caught them on a night when they couldn't miss. And I mean, they couldn't miss. If they threw a 3/4 court shot, it was probably going in.
I think the only thing for them that was a little rough for their layups, they were like 13 and 20 something. It wasn't very good, but they shot.
Go ahead.
I was going to say they shot 55% from outside.
57%.
Was it 57
from outside for 3-pointers?
It was 54, wasn't it? And then overall
45% from 3-point, 57% overall.
Okay, yeah, all right. I was probably looking at those wrong. It's still insane. Like to shoot over 40% on that amount of shots is insane. And I don't think they're going to do that again. I could be wrong, and they're not mid now. Now they're great, but I'm kind of with Tim here. I don't see that really changing for them. This was a must win game. Also, they were coming off that game where the last second shot didn't count. Whether or not you agree that was the right call, whatever, their fans, they wanted this. You walked into a freaking hornet's nest. Arkansas just didn't respond. And Tim, to you, does this shake your confidence at all in Arkansas, or does it change you in any way, in one way or another?
No, it actually doesn't, because I think there was one thing that Cal pointed out that I think is 100% he gets through to the team this week, and we don't see this again. We came out and decided we were old Rick Pitino Kentucky teams. We decided to shoot threes like there was nothing else, available. And he said, we're not that team. We're a drive and get fouled, and we live at the free throw line, and that's a big part of our offense. And for us to go out there and just launch threes, that's just not who we are. But that's what we decided we were going to do. I don't think that'll happen again. I think we get back to the team that we are. Kind of lost our identity with everybody feeling like I've got to shoot a three.
And because they were shooting so well from outside, they got full of themselves. And that's what they were. I mean, they were not hitting in the first half. They were not knocking down those shots from outside. And the defense, I've been very critical of this defense, and for this very reason. I said then, and I'll say it now, the kind of defense they're playing led to Ole Miss scoring as many points as Ole Miss did. And you got to understand something, chat. Ole Miss is really bad on offense. They're the worst in the SEC, and hell, they might be one of the worst P4s on offense. And you gave up 85 points. The second most points they scored all year. I think before that they scored 88 on like a Southeast Louisiana or something. Yeah, it was embarrassing against Ole Miss. And hey, we won a game on the road. Big deal. Awesome. That's great. But we got to shore some things up on defense or we're in trouble. And then look what happened. And combine that with what you said, the just whatever, going to kind of take the game off angle. That's what it looked like to me. I mean, that was some of the most uninspiring basketball I have ever seen. And I even had Ralph I think it was Ralph in my post-game live chat telling me I was being too negative.
Yep.
Like, I don't know, Ralph. What do you want me to do? I mean, yeah, Arkansas could score, great, but their defense is going to cost them more games if they don't turn this thing around.
Arkansas could score, but we were held 20 points under our average.
Oh,
so it's worth complaining about a little bit. We were held 20 points under our average. That being said, South Carolina comes in. I know you don't want to necessarily jump into this today, but South Carolina comes in and they're averaging, 10 points less than us. They're coming into Bud Walton. I think we get our get back right here, get back on track and do what we're supposed to do. So,
well, they better. Thankfully they don't play until like you said, Wednesday night, 8:00. So you got a little bit of time. Say that again.
Another Wednesday at 8.
Oh, I know it. Yeah. Like I said, I'm probably not doing post game. That kills me, man. Having to get up that early in the morning, get my kids ready for school and everything, and doing a post game. Midweek games are going to be tough this year. I'll just say that because they play 8:00 on Tuesday night against Vanderbilt next week. So I don't know. I'm going to have to figure that out. That's probably one I'm going to want to do a post game for, but yeah, they're in for it here, man. I mean, you got to rebound against South Carolina. We'll get into the nitty gritty on that on Wednesday, I guess, before tip off. Those are usually not the best shows to do before a basketball game, but we're probably gonna. I don't know. We might go a little early, or I don't know. That's supposed to be Travis's night. We'll see if he shows up. Hopefully he does, because I always like his takes, and it's always fun, especially when we can get all three of us on here. It's always a lot of fun.
Wednesday. I'll have to look at my schedule. I don't know about
it's like herding cats, chat. It's like herding kittens. I'm telling you. No, I get it, man. But yeah, I am still concerned about the defense. Does this shake my confidence in them? You know what? They did this last year, where they had a letdown game and they just looked like pure booty, and we're fine. They were fine. And I'm trying to remember who that was. Was it South Carolina? Yeah, it was South Carolina.
Is that when Pringle went off on us in a way that he's not played for us yet since he came over?
Yes. 72-53.
I think that's right. I think Pringle had like 18 and 11 against us.
Something crazy. Yeah, he had a hell of a game. That's probably
19 and 11 points, 11 rebounds.
That's when Cal was like, I'm going to bring him here, and we're going to get that here. However, Arkansas did go to Vanderbilt and win that game in similar fashion, 90-77.
Yeah.
I don't know that I see that happening this year, even in Bud Walton, but you never know. I hope I'm wrong.
I'm actually excited for that Vanderbilt game because I think we're going to show that they're a farce. I know you don't think they're a farce, but I don't. I don't. And we're going to show it when they come here.
I think they could be the best team in the SEC. Could be. I'm not saying they are, but they could potentially be the best team. I hope you're right, though. I hope that Arkansas just lays one on them. I would love to be wrong about that. Look at that. Aragorn got his card. Look in Discord for those of you that are in Discord. He got his card. Woo. He got his autographed Jarius Wright card. That's for being a legendary status member in Tusk Talk with Ty Patreon. That's awesome. He just tagged me in the picture. That's awesome. Very cool. Let me see. Wasn't it? Yeah. Was it that SC's first conference win last year too?
Probably.
I don't think it was. It was either their first or their second. I think it was their second conference win, but it was embarrassing. I remember that. I'm pretty sure I raged on that post game. Like, what the hell did we just watch? But what they do after that, right? So I think they're going to be fine this year. Let's just hope that was a wake up call.
You're not going to be up for every game. I just don't want to get embarrassed, and that was embarrassing.
It was so embarrassing.
That was a lack of effort.
We were riding so high on the Razorbacks. It's like, oh my God, they could go to Auburn and win. They could go on a little win streak here. They could show Vanderbilt what's up. And then all of a sudden this game happens. It's like, well, shit, that better not happen again, and we might be in trouble.
We need to move Mufasa now.
Say what?
Remember who you are.
Oh.
Mufasa for the team.
Yeah. Let's talk really quick about the newest portal pig. We already kind of mentioned him earlier, so we won't spend a lot of time on him, but Arkansas did pick up a commit today from LSU's an LSU receiver, Jelani Watkins. Again, Patreon supporters have we got a full breakdown on him. But he didn't play a lot, so there's not really a lot to break down. I do have a note under his name, but he's 5'10", 162. PFF grades aren't much to look at, but my God, he caught the ball twice. Jelani Watkins will run track at Arkansas. He was a 3-star prospect in the portal. However, he was a part of the 2024 recruiting class where he was a 4-star. Again, he signed with LSU. Was there for a couple of years, and now he's a Razorback. Everything I've heard, he's fast. Obviously, the kid's going to run track at Arkansas like he did at LSU, and apparently he was really fast at LSU. He broke some like school record on a maybe the 100-meter dash or something. I don't know. Apparently
he runs a 200.
Is it the 200?
And he won the Texas 6A 200 state championship.
Do you have what he did at LSU? Because I thought I read somewhere where he broke some record. He might have broken a 200. Or he did something great. I mean, he's obviously coming to Arkansas, and this is the track capital of the world. So
I'm looking for that. I don't see that.
So yeah, Arkansas adding another wide receiver right there. Bing bang boom.
He
track
was
guys
in high school, so
yeah,
he's rated a 3-star as a transfer, but he was a 4-star out of high school.
That's a good point. Track guys never do seem to work out. That's fair. That's actually pretty fair. They don't. Centennial was supposed to run track here, and I don't think he ever did. But then he transferred to Oklahoma. I don't know if he's running track at OU or not, but he obviously was crushing it in football for them. Another Fayetteville kid, by the way, like we were talking about earlier. Fayetteville kid tearing it up over there. I can't believe we forgot about him. Jordan Anthony was one. Remember him? Little track guy, supposed to be great. We thought he was going to be something special here, and then he decided to stick with track and not play last year when he was eligible to play, and he never really worked out here either. So yeah, that's a good point. Track guys just don't seem to work out that well.
He did run the 100. Watkins did run the 100 for LSU. He ran the 200 in high school. He ran the 100 for LSU.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to get exactly how fast he ran it, but
while you're doing that, we'll move on really quick. This is the we might even open up the phone lines here if anybody wants to call in. I want everyone, again, we're probably going to do this every time we talk about the portal, but we want everybody's reaction to the portal. I didn't mention post live XP chat, but I actually haven't thought of what we could do for post live chat. But the last time I did this, not a single person did it. So we might be putting that behind us. I don't know if we're going to do those anymore. If no one's going to participate, then why bother? John says, I want to say he finished 3rd in the country in the 100. It was something wild. I know
he finished 7th fastest time in school history in the 60 meter.
Okay. That was at LSU.
6'6", 60 meter at LSU.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the 7th fastest time in LSU history.
Yeah. I had it up. I had it pulled up.
20.85 in the 200 meters.
Yeah.
So he's fast. So
there you go.
Hope
he's Casey.
2 catches doesn't really.
Yeah, he doesn't have a large sample size. Like, we don't know what he did. Like, we don't know really what he's capable of on the field. I don't know. Let's see.
Maybe you can have some of those highlight catches Satania had for OU this year.
Oh, wouldn't that be great? He honestly, he caught a couple balls that were pretty impressive. I always thought Satania had it in him. I was surprised he didn't do it when he was here under Petrino. Mm-hmm. And obviously, quarterback probably had something to do with that. I don't know what to do as far as a post live XP comment. I don't know if we're going to do that or not. I'm trying to think of one, but we do have. So we already gave you the portal update with the commitment. I'm kind of noticing a theme with this class, and you'd mentioned how they're older. Some of them are older, and they are. There's something else that kind of stands out about these guys. They're small. On both sides of the ball, they're small.
Well, you say that, and yes, you're right, but there are 3 offensive linemen that are 315 or bigger.
Right. Yeah. But I mean,
but other than that, 5'10s and yeah.
I was thinking skill position guys, linebackers. You got a couple lengthier corners. But if you look at some of the skill position players, like Donovan Fopel, they have him at 6'1", 195. I had one media member tell me he is not 6'1". He might actually be closer to 5'11" to 6 foot. Whatever. Maybe he is. Jelani Watkins, who we just talked about. 5'10", 162 pounds. 5'10", 162. He's going to have to put on some weight, obviously. Sutton Smith is more of he's not technically, I don't know if you call him a scat back, but he's 5'9", 185. And it goes on. Jamari Hawkins, another Memphis kid, 5'9", 185. Hell, your 2 tight ends are not monstrous. Now, to be fair, you do have a couple of taller tight ends on, Platt is like 6'5", 6'6". What is he, 250 something? But Matt Adcock is 6'3", 245. He's built more like a Rohan Jones. And then the other tight end, Ty Lockwood, is 6'4", 245. Jasper Parker, 6 foot, 205. Not a big or small. He's kind of a in between there. Chris Marshall is 6'3" at wide receiver. That is one. You do have Chris Marshall. You talk about a dice roll. If there was ever one, it's this kid, former 5-star Chris Marshall, signed with A&M out of high school. I think he was kicked off the team at A&M, and he went to Ole Miss, and he had some disciplinary issues there. Transferred to, I think he went JUCO for a year. I'm not even sure, or maybe not JUCO, but that's where he went. He went to Ole Miss. I have that wrong. I have it down as JUCO because I swear I read somewhere he had looked at going JUCO. Anyways, he goes to Boise State, has a pretty good year, and he's one of those guys. By the way, Tim, you're talking about an older player. He's an older player, but he's like your tallest receiver. Now, to be perfectly fair, you do have Courtney Crutchfield, who's like 6'2". Monty Harrison, the 37-year-old redshirt sophomore, 6'3", and then you have the Warren kid who is 6'6". But as far as just like who they're getting out of the portal, listen to some of these defensive numbers. Okay, Ben Bogle, who played the Mike at West Virginia, played 3 years before that. We kind of went over that earlier. So he is technically going to be a 5th-year player. 6'1", 221. All right, that's not small. But for an SEC Mike linebacker, he might want to put on 10 pounds or so. Ian Williams, safety from Memphis, 5'10", 180. Braden Lee, 6'1", 178. That's not terrible. Who was I looking at a minute ago? Lakai Rowland is 6'2", 196. You talk about a bag drop. Lakai Rowland. Arkansas beat out Ohio State for Lakai Rowland. That was a huge pickup, 6'2", 195. Another good corner, Jaheim Johnson at Tulane, another bag get. Had some really good offers out of the portal. But there were more here. Hold on. I'm not done.
Shelton Lewis out of Clemson.
Yeah. Jamonta Waller out of Auburn. He's an edge guy, off-ball defender. 6 foot, 256. Jaquavion Smith out of Buffalo, 6'1", 205. That's a linebacker. And then where's he at? I know I had him up here. Christian Harrison, safety. We know who his dad was. 6 foot, 195. Now you get into these 2 linebackers. Listen to this. Phoenix Jackson, 6 foot, 223. I like the weight. I kind of want him to be a little bit more, I don't know, vertical. I'd like to see him around 6'2", 6'3", 225. Kamori House, 6 foot, 215, who's probably going to be in the mix in both linebacker spots. And Shelton Lewis, like you had mentioned a second ago, 5'11", 185. They're just not as big as I thought they would go. But I was thinking about it. they were big last year, and what good did that do them?
I was just about to say, all I heard last year were big in the defensive backfield. Corners and safeties are all 6'2" and run 20 miles an hour. And blah. You know what? If you're 5'11" and you have cover skills, I don't care that you're 5'11". I'm sorry, but 6'2" did nothing for us except for Julian Neal. So
yeah,
I don't care. Be 5'11" and go out there and cover somebody.
Yeah, and I was actually going to record this for Patreon in an audio log talking about this, and what I had noted was big always doesn't equal better. And yeah, I mean, they were huge. They were absolutely huge. One of your safeties was 6'3", 245 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, what good did that do them? So Larry Worth, by the way, is who I'm talking about.
Maybe they had some linebacker.
They had some huge players in the secondary. And now, to be fair, he kind of played a little bit more in the box, but terrific against the run. What a good tackler. I wish he had another year of eligibility and you could move him down. But I'm what matters at the end of the day, and I think maybe that's just what's going to show up here, is that you got some guys with a little bit of time under their belt, get a little experience, and they may actually have some speed, and they might be able to cover somebody. That's what matters. Being 6'2", 6'3", who gives a shit? That didn't do anything for you last year. So, yeah, it's something I'd noticed. I was looking at the portal, and I was going down one by one. I was like, damn, these guys are not real big. Now, again, when it comes to the linebackers, yeah, they're going to have to gain some weight. Some of these guys are going to put on some lbs, no doubt about it. I could tell them how to do that, by the way. I'm quite the expert in gaining weight. But they want to gain good weight, not the Ty Hudson weight.
Not our weight.
Not our weight. That's right. So yeah, just something that had stuck out. Let's see.
I will say this: I would love to field a full offensive line of 315 or bigger.
Oh,
when I saw those three guys, I was like, yes, we're putting together a big offensive line.
Yeah. Pooh Bear the Prophet says our offense is low key loaded and built for a year 2 offense. Real talk. I think that's a compliment. Is that a compliment? I think that's a compliment.
I think so. I'm saying it's built for a year 2.
Yeah.
Or is he saying this year's going to suck, but next year?
It might be. Maybe that's kind of what I was thinking he was saying. I don't know that I'm ready to give out grades yet for each position. But one thing to look at, like Cam Settles, apparently, I guess he took to Instagram and said he was coming back. You're going to have him. I like Settles, man. Something about Settles, watching his tape from high school. Like, he looks like he could be an SEC back for sure. And he's not itty bitty, but he is 5'11", but he's like 210. And he looks like he's just built, man. Like, he reminds me of one of those kind of old school kind of Alabama running backs, but yet he's got some speed under him. He's not too thick, right? You're not going to, like, if he and Braylon Russell are standing next to each other, who's who. Of course, Braylon Russell's like 6'1", 6'2", 240 pounds. But, just one of those guys that's just built like a shit brick house, just like, damn, that dude's going to be fun to watch. I hope he gets some snaps next year. I was kind of hoping he'd get in the mix this year. And like tight end, getting Jaden Platt back is big. I mean, that was huge. So I would say if there was a negative for me, and I'm probably going to get harped on for saying this, you didn't grab even one of these guys out of the portal that was like outside. Don't get me wrong. The tackle and the 2 corners and the 2 linebackers, big time. Like, I think those are great gets. And I like the former 4-star tight end as well. I'll get to his name in a second. But there's no like, they signed who? You know what I mean? There's no holy shit. They got who? The top 1st or 2nd or 3rd ranked player in that position. They didn't grab like one of those guys.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed to see Texas. I think it was Texas. Yeah, Texas ended up with Cam Coleman.
Yeah.
That would have been for us like okay, who? What?
Yeah.
But we did it.
Didn't.
So.
And to be fair, it's not like that means they're always going to be insanely good. Like Courtney Crutchfield, Arkansas getting Courtney Crutchfield last year, we were all like, oh my God, okay, he redshirted at Mizzou. They just lost something here. And to be fair, he's a redshirt freshman, right? I said it all off season. Don't expect a redshirt freshman to come into a Petrino offense and be great. Okay. He's probably a developmental guy. It's going to take a couple of years. That could still be true. And I think he's announced he's coming back. I think. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, there's no one out of this portal that's just mind blowing. There's not one in terms of like offensive skill position guys. Now on the defense, if you understand defense and like defense, they signed probably 3 or 4. Like, damn, that's a really good get. Like maybe even more than that when you look at that secondary. It felt like they absolutely reloaded on defense because they had to. They had no other choice, right? So I was kind of hoping they were going to get one of those receivers or a big time, running back, I don't know, something that at least gives you that wow factor on offense. And I don't really know that I see it. A couple of those guys are good. I think they're good gets. I'm not saying they're bad. They're just not like mind blowing. But so far, and I know there's still room. There's still, I think you're allowed 105, I think, scholarship players. And I think they're at 80. I could be wrong, maybe high 70s. So there's still room, and they're still going to add. They're probably going to continue to wait. We're still seeing kids from LSU just enter the portal. Now that window's closing. They've got like 3-4 days, I think. So it's starting to close up. We need defensive linemen. That's the other thing. Am I
Okie back?
Say what?
We did get Okie back.
David Okie is coming back, who set out most of the year from an injury.
Yeah.
And we were told, like, watch this dude cook. And he couldn't because he was hurt. Maybe Okie's him. And we had him all along. We just, because he was out last year. I know he came in. He was a good get. I think he had several really good offers on the table. And he picked Arkansas. If we leave this link, is anyone going to call in? You've got like 15 minutes if anyone wants to call. Maybe you want to give us your 2 cents on the portal, or
we also kept the most important lineman.
Quincy Rhodes.
Yeah. Keeping Quincy Rhodes is like getting a first-round draft pick.
Pretty damn close, isn't it? I mean, Quincy Rhodes was you're right. I think we're kind of underestimating what it meant to get him back. And now you're getting David Okie, who, by the way, another one of those really experienced, super senior players, one of those guys that apparently Signetti has figured out how to work with and win with.
Obviously we need some of Ty's quality. Depth matters, but it's huge. Quincy Rhodes is huge.
It is. Charlie Collins, he withdrew his name.
Yep. So
he's another upperclassman. I kind of thought Charlie Collins would have taken off by now. I really did. I thought when they got him out of high school, he was going to be something special. Right now, we know that Bradley Shaw, Wyatt Simmons, Joseph Witt are your returning linebackers from a year ago. So, yeah, they absolutely need to add some experience there. And I like what they're – even if they're – hey, man, 6 foot might be a short king for an SEC linebacker, but I'm all about it, man. If they've got some experience – House is damn good, man. House is a fantastic get out of the portal. And I think this Bogle kid – who's 6'1", 221 might be pretty good.
How far back do you go, Ty?
What do you mean?
In Razorback, in your love of Razorback football.
You're about to bring up Sam Aljabutu.
Sam Aljabutu, that's right. That's right.
Tony Bua played linebacker and safety, and he was, what was he like?
6'1", wasn't he, at least?
Was he 6'1"? I thought he was shorter than that. I thought he was like 6 foot.
Sam was 5'8".
Yeah, Aljabutu was was a short king. He was damn good, man. He was fun to watch. He was all over the field.
Yeah.
All over the field. Last day to enter is January 16th. There it is. Yeah, so they've got just a few days. Did that Arkansas kid sign anyway?
Hendricks?
Is he talking about Hendricks, or is he talking about maybe like Kane Archer?
Archer went to Utah. That's a done deal.
Is it done?
I mean, I think he had the opportunity to leave because his coach left, but he's not coming here.
Okay. I don't know what he's talking about. So the answer is no there, and the answer is if you're talking about Hendricks, he has not officially announced. I'm not even sure they've categorized him yet back in the 2026 class. So if you look him up, if you're looking for Hendricks, you have to look at the 2027 rankings. And I'm not sure they reclassified him. I'm looking on the 2026. No, because they still have Danny Beal. He would be in front of Danny Beal, most likely. I would think. I could be wrong. Danny Beal's a damn good get, defensive lineman. Chaps my ass. Arkansas lost that kid to SMU. Oh, they did flip Danny Beal and Terry Hodges. Yeah, I don't see him on here. So they still haven't reclassified him on 247. So we'll have to wait and see. But I would it might be difficult to dethrone a kid that's already number one in the state, but I think they'd probably rank him in front of Danny Beal in the 2026 Arkansas class. I could be wrong.
He's still at 2027 on 3.
Is he on 3? Okay. Yeah, they haven't reclassified him
He's
yet.
12 in the country on 3. So for
as a quarterback or overall?
As a quarterback.
Okay, I was gonna say it's got to be quarterback. Yeah,
quarterback on here.
Yeah.
Although they have him leaning toward Texas Tech, not Arkansas. So
really,
on 3 does.
Oh, wouldn't that be some shit?
All of this to do, and he's 40% to Texas Tech and 33% to Arkansas, according to them.
Well, you know how this is going to go down. You know exactly how this is going to go down. He's going to sign with Arkansas, and next year he's going to get tampered with probably, and he's going to go to Texas Tech. That's what's going to happen. So why did he reclassify? We already know how this is going to happen. Play your senior season, man. Go win my Bulldogs a state title. Just saying. No, that is exactly what's going to happen. He's going to sign at Arkansas, and he's going to transfer to Texas Tech. I don't care that his dad's here. Are you going to turn down? I don't know if they'd offer. They're not going to offer $5 million because he's unproven. But are you going to turn down? It's probably going to be north of $1.5 million. You think he's going to turn that down because daddy's a coach at Arkansas? Come on.
Yeah.
Give me a break. That ain't happening.
I mean, on his list, his 5-team list, Texas Tech is number 1. Then Arkansas, then UTSA, Michigan, and Ole Miss have all offered him. So, I mean, got some big offers.
Yeah. Like I said, they're comparing him to Fayetteville has pumped out some really good quarterbacks, going all the way back to the Clark brothers when I played there. Both of which signed at Arkansas, and then both of which transferred to UCA. After Zach got beat out the quarterback position, he went to UCA, and I think he set some records at UCA. Ty, would you like if we got the Metcalf? Yeah, I would. I would. TJ is fantastic. He went on a visit to Tennessee. I've not heard anything about the Metcalf brothers coming here. That doesn't mean it hadn't happened in secret. You guys know how this works. You never know, right? A kid is really just a text away from joining your roster. So, I haven't heard anything. I'd be all about TJ. I mean, you talk about experience and a guy that's played at a high level. His younger brother, Tevis. Is it Tevis?
I think so.
I think he's got a little ways to go, but I'd take them both. They're both outstanding young men. Talked to his dad. Actually met the Metcalf brothers in person and their parents. Good people, man. Would love for them to come back. They'd represent the U of A well. But listen, you're going to go where it's the best fit, and money's going to matter. I mean, no one's immune to that. Hell, I'd sure as shit wouldn't be. I mean, I'm just being honest. My dad worked in a machine shop for 30 years. Okay. Arky 56 is a blue collar guy. And I think he would be pushing me towards chasing the bag. And I'm not saying that's what they're doing. The Metcaps are doing. I'm just saying wherever they end up, despite the fact they started here. Let's not forget Hank is a Texas boy. He is. That is a fact. And his dad was a high school coach down there. That's right. That's another reason why some people were talking about Casey Dick's response. Like, dude, you wouldn't even have him if it wasn't for the U of A to begin with. That's a fair point. Hendrick's daddy transferring to Texas Tech. It might be a situation where you need to watch where dad goes. It could be if he ends up down at one of those Texas schools. Schools do that all the time. They do that all the time. I mean,
Chandler Morris is looking at a 12th year of eligibility to go play for his dad at Clemson, I think.
No, he was told he was denied though, right?
I don't know.
I think Chandler was denied. Pretty sure.
I think after 10, 12 years, you're supposed to be denied, but.
Yeah, he was so long ago, Chandler. You know, we actually had him on another podcast I used to be a part of years ago. We actually had him on and interviewed him, and that was, God, before COVID, before 2020, I think 2019. It's been a long time ago. Who's his dad? Transplanted Texans. Yeah. Former, Texas high school coach. Yeah, he was on the staff. Pittman brought him in, like I mentioned this earlier, Kyle. Pittman brought his dad in. He was a high school coach down in Texas. It's part of what you do if you want to go recruit Texas. That's the move. You bring in a high school coach from that area. Anyways, brought him here. I think he was an analyst, and then Bobby Petrino promoted him to a secondary coach after Pittman was fired. So, yeah. All right. Well, nobody called in, Tim. We're gonna wrap things up here. First off, appreciate you, Tim, for taking your evening to hang out with me and talk a little Razorback football. I'll be back on Wednesday. Again, I don't know if I'm going to do the post game. 8 p.m. is just really pushing it, man. It is really hard to do for me. But like I said, make sure you have the notification bell clicked. Make sure you're subscribed. 2025 was awesome. 300,000+ total views in 2025. That's incredible. Like 1.5 million impressions on YouTube alone, just on YouTube. That's incredible. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Just make sure you have the notification bell clicked. We could have a guest on this week. I don't know that it'll be for the Wednesday night show or not. Could be a random weekday show, but I'm talking to a guest right now and hoping to get him on this week. And I'll just say it. It's Kyle Sutherland from hogbeat.com. So Kyle and I worked on the Hog Talk podcast together years ago. Some of my favorite content. I love doing these shows with Travis and Tim, and I love doing those podcasts with Kyle. They were awesome. I'm hoping to bring him on this week. We've been in contact thanks to John Haas. So looking to do that interview with him sometime this week. So again, make sure you have that notification bell clicked. I better take these off. There we go. And so on your way out, make sure you like, share, hit the subscribe button. You can follow me on Tusk Talk with Ty. And Tim, what's your ad again? It's at Tim Neal, right?
Yeah, at Tim Neal X.
There you go. So go follow him and follow Tusk Talk with Ty on Twitter or X. Sorry. God, I'm so sorry. I keep messing that up. Shout out to, of course, Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company. Same day services, quality parts, affordable outcomes, better than the best. 1,000+ 5-star reviews. If you're in Central Arkansas, he's got your back, man. Little Rock to Conway. Free estimates. Just give him a call, 501-244-3667. Again, that's Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company. We will, again, I'll be back at some point this week. Make sure you like, share, subscribe on your way out. We'll see you guys when we see you. Be good.
Sure.
Having trouble with your garage door? Problem solved. Call Direct Service Overhead Garage Door Company. We're your go-to team for garage door repair, new garage doors, openers, and more. We offer same-day service. We're always ready when you need us. Best of all, you can book your appointment online or talk to a live operator 24/7. No machines, no waiting. So whether it's a broken spring or a brand new garage door, trust the local experts at Direct Service Garage Doors. Call us today or visit directserviceoverhead.com.